I have something to tell you guys. Let's just be real. January was a trial run.
Break the pattern today or the loop will repeat tomorrow. Break the pattern today or the loop will repeat tomorrow. You must break the pattern today or the loop will repeat.
It's so easy to really be in this swing of momentum in the new year, new me, new goals. That all sounds great, and it's so easy to really feed off the new year momentum of everybody else because everybody is in that same mindset. But we are now in February, and February is the moment where you have to make a choice. It's either you're going to go after everything that you said you were going to do, or you're not. And you have to get to a point to where you ask yourself, are you actually going to change this year? Or are you going to continue to go in the same cycle over and over again? If weight loss is something that you find yourself having to constantly restart over and over again, this video is for you. I've lost 70 pounds and I have been able to keep it off for 2 years in a row. As someone who has been overweight literally my whole entire life, this is the first moment in life to where I've been conventionally, societally thin, skinny, whatever you want to call it, healthy, at a good weight. And one of my biggest mottos that I go by, and I've said this throughout plenty of videos, is the thing about, oh, I'm going to start that diet next week. I'm going to start over on Monday. Like, if you're constantly starting over, at what point are you going to be able to form this new version of yourself if you're always starting from that same broken place? One of my models I live by is just get back to your regular scheduled program. Just call a thing, and you're stuck in this loop. Like, you're stuck going around the same mountain over and over again. And you have to get to a point to where you're like, all right, this is a pattern. How do we get ourselves out this pattern? The thing is, I feel like weight loss can be a common problem for women, and women don't just fail at weight loss. It's the fact that they get stuck in this everlasting cycle. Every New Year's, the New Year's resolution was, I need to lose weight. Do you know how good it feels to break the cycle, to break the loop, and to not have that as my New Year's resolution for the past 2 years? It feels amazing. It feels incredible. And I want you guys to get in a space to where you can recognize the pattern and break it. This loop looks like motivation, then it goes into this restriction mode, and then it goes to just burnout, and then it's like, all right, let's reset. We're gonna start over again next week. That's how it typically looks. This burst of motivation, and you feel like you're starting over, and starting over feels inspiring, or it feels like movement, but you're actually in a loop. You're actually in this pattern that you cannot break. And the thing is, January is truly a month fueled by motivation. But the thing is, February, it reveals the true identity. And usually this is the moment to where either people fall off or they're like, I have to try harder. I have to overanalyze to get to the solution that I'm trying to get to. Most people think consistency is tied to effort. However, effort actually starts to collapse when life gets busy or emotions show up, or even when stress starts to hit. It's inevitable for stress to hit just in our human lives because, hey, look at the world. Who is not dealing with some sort of stress on the daily? But that is when those efforts start to dwindle, when these life things pop up. And the thing about trying harder, it truly creates this all or nothing energy. It's black or white. It's either you're good or you're bad. And that is the thing that broke the cycle for me. I had to stop looking at my weight loss journey as in I'm doing good or I'm doing bad, because it's not a black and white thing. It can be a very nuanced thing, and the shifts that you have to make mentally can't come from a black or white place. And the thing with having that all or nothing attitude, it really can put you in a cycle of guilt. And when you guilt trip yourself, that's not doing the future version of yourself any good. It's keeping you stuck in that same cycle. And then from the guilt, you get into this place to where you're constantly resetting. You're constantly starting over. If your plan only works when life is perfect, it's just not sustainable. Like I said, we go through all of these things. So when it comes to your goals, it can't be just black or white. Weight loss truly sticks when your habits naturally just become your default behavior. It takes about 21 days to build a habit. And the thing about when people think, oh, I need to lose weight, or they have this new goal in mind that they want to do, they really drive off of that motivation in the beginning. But the thing about motivation, like I said, it comes and it goes. So that's not something that you can truly depend on. Having habits is something that you can learn to truly depend on. And the way that you get your habits is through creating disciplined actions for yourself that is sustainable for your life. A lot of times we like to just go all in. We get the workout plan, we get the gym membership. And it's like, is that something that you can keep up with every single day? You might have to start smaller. You might have to do a YouTube video here and there. You might have to get a walking pad. You might have to just walk outside. You might have to just walk on your lunch break at work. We don't have to make everything this big grand gesture to get started. And the way that you build up your habits, you constantly do it every day, and then progressively upgrade, progressively get stronger, progressively change your workouts, progressively try new things. But if we try all of the new things at once, the new diet, the new workouts, the new gym, the new classes, like, that can become all too much, especially when life starts lifing. We talked habits. Another big piece, for real, y'all, and it's probably the most important piece, is you have to make food neutral in your mind. Something I live by is there's no such thing as junk food. We call it fun food in my house. If we want to have fun this day, that's what we're going to do. But the moment you actually start to look at food like it's fuel, and it's not a good thing, it's not a bad thing, it is simply the oil that you need to make your engine go, is a game changer. I was a person who literally made food the center of my universe. I want to be healthy, so we're gonna plan out all of these healthy meals. We're gonna have all of these healthy snacks. Or I'm at work and I'm hungry. I need to figure out what my next healthy option is. Then I go in the cafe and there's a plethora of options and I'm just hungry. And it was just like I was always constantly thinking about food. And the moment I made food not the center of my universe, it was a game changer. And it's so much easier said than done than to just demote food mentally like that. But that is something that you have to do. And I think it might be even harder just in America because so much of our lives are centered around food. Even if you watch a commercial, an ad, everybody's always eating. But in reality, we don't need to eat as much as we are. And you have to begin to figure out how you can dial back and how that works in your lifestyle. So I will be sure to go into more details of some things that actually work for me throughout the series. But food is the number one thing that is going to change everything because your body naturally burns calories on its own. But if you set yourself up for success around your food, you really don't even have to work out like that. I've kept this weight off for 2 years. And prior to the 2 years, I was working out 2 times a day. Intensely. Stairmaster, both sessions. Burning 1,000 calories. Just going extra hard. And that's not doing nothing but really burning your energy and making you hungrier. So if you fix the food piece first, then you learn to move your body, you're going to like that. That's going to be the shift. That's going to be the game changer. This shift actually was one that it's kind of like a brain fart or a mind kind of situation, but consistency feels calm. I'm to the point to where I don't feel anxious if I don't work out. Like, 'cause I know how much I'm supposed to be eating, but I used to be a person who truly obsessed over moving my body. Now, granted, I do feel like better mentally when I work out. So now if I don't work out, I might be a little bit more agitated or antsy, but I used to feel an immense amount of guilt if I didn't work out because I'm just like, you're never going to reach your goals because you didn't take your fat to the gym today. That's how I used to talk to myself. And that's another thing that you cannot do. You have to learn how to speak life over your life and to truly speak to yourself, speak to your future self, so you can stay in a heightened headspace, stay in a state of visualizing your higher self. Your higher self doesn't talk to herself like that. Your higher self doesn't feel guilt about missing something. They have learned to create systems and habits to work around their life, and they don't guilt trip themselves if something doesn't happen once. You know what I mean? So just to jump back really quick. So we talked habits. We talked how you have to make your food situation just neutral. It's just food. And we talked about how consistency has to feel calm. And let me just tell you, to do all of those things, there are a few requirements that actually have to happen. You have to make an identity shift. You have to make a mindset shift. Your mind is like a muscle, and you have been doing the same thing for X amount of years. So you're going to have to put in that work and do some mental gymnastics to adjust how you look at life, how you think, how you move. And training your mind can actually be very easy, honestly. And I will talk more about that throughout the series, but you have to make that mindset shift. You have to make that identity shift. You also have to learn to trust yourself. Now, trusting yourself simply comes from keeping promises to yourself. You don't realize how many broken promises that you have to yourself. The fact that you have to start over every single Monday, broken promise. The fact that you told yourself, I'm gonna drink a gallon of water every day, broken promise. If you didn't do it, it's a broken promise. The more you begin to keep promises to yourself, because honestly, you matter the most. I know we live life and we live on this earth with other people, but baby, this is your life. And I just heard a quote maybe a few months ago, and I wholeheartedly believe that you are in charge of your story. So if you don't like it, rewrite it. There is no point of being a loser in your own story. And that stuck to me so hard. This is your life. You do this one time. So if you don't like something, you have the ability to change it. The goal isn't to be like, oh, I have to be disciplined. I have to do this every single day. The goal isn't to be like that forever, but discipline helps you make your habits feel normal. So it takes 21 days on average to truly build a habit. So think about what habits that you need to create and start to create a system, a routine. Create discipline around those goals that you're trying to achieve. And the more you keep your promises to yourself, the more it just becomes second nature. It's like, oh yeah, I have this cup and I finish this cup of water every single day. I get up and I walk 30 minutes every single day. I'm keeping a promise to myself. Like, it is that simple. And that helps you build that self-trust within yourself, helps you really regulate your nervous system. And that mental peace is important for this identity shift. So that was a lot of information, but I'm super excited to welcome you all to this is your last time starting over. This is your moment to truly learn to build trust within yourself. And if you can do this for one goal in your life, you're going to be able to do this in every single aspect of your life. You're going to stop starting over and you're going to start to getting every single thing that you truly want and your heart truly desires. I just want to end on, if you're a person who has been on this mountain of weight loss, going around and around and around and around again, you're not alone. I'm telling you, I am 30 years old, turning 31. This is the first time ever I've ever been at a healthy weight. And to just kind of put it plain and simple, you've been solving the wrong problem. February is going to be your decision point. No more resets. This is going to be your last time starting over. Not because you're trying harder, but because you finally understand the things that you need to change. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next upload. And if you have any topics or things you want to expand on, let me know down in the comments below. Bye.